Alright, hello and welcome. I'm going to be streaming some Observer Mode Firefall, for those of you who have not checked out Red 5's Firefall. It is a team-based kind of online RPG shooter, and they have just put in this really fancy Observer Mode that's letting me get this beautiful, beautiful view of what's going on up here. So I figured I would share it with all of you. First time streaming it, I don't really know all of the controls. It seems to be bouncing around a little where I don't really want it to. But I'm sure I'll figure that out as we go. There's a nice whole control panel up here. I can fast forward, rewind the match, record various things. It's pretty sweet. So yeah, I will be doing my best to commentate on this action. There's been a lot of changes, so I don't know what everything is right now. But the biggest thing has probably been the change to the medic class. It is now the biotech. Direct constant healing has been completely removed from the game, replaced with cooldown-based and aiming-based healing. So you'll see people dying a lot faster. You won't see people being picked up from the brink of death anymore. It's a little choppy right now. That's the server. It's been pretty swamped, as you might expect, with this huge update that just came out. So just kind of bear with me. I'm doing my best to give you a good view of what's going on. It looks like we're still at point A here for the attackers. They haven't yet really managed to get a foothold on the inside, kind of hovering around the outside, being repulsed, but it's not going by the health bars we can see for the defending team. It looks like they might be starting to lose a little ground. It depends on how fast they get their respawns back, how fast they manage to get back into this central room here. For those of you who aren't playing Firefall, this is the room that they have to take. This is the little panel here. They just hacked it. So now it's activated a timer. When that timer goes down, the point will cap. Until that timer is down, the defending team can fight their way in and unhack the point. So essentially the idea is the attacking team wants to take control of the room, clear everyone out, then hack it, and then they have to hold the room long enough for the point to capture. It looks like they're going to cap it. They have pretty solid control, 5v3 approximately, maybe 6. They're getting flanked, but I don't think it'll be quick enough from the defending team, and there we go. They've captured point A, moving on to point B. There's a couple routes, for those of you who don't know the map. The defending team will, the attacking team will now be spawning right inside here from those little doors there, and they need to push either across that bridge up to this second little hut here, or they can push through this canyon, and there's a side entrance. They can come around back. They can't push into the third building over there yet. It's got a shield on it. I'm sorry, I still don't know why this is jumping around. I assume there's a kind of directed camera mode that I can disable, but I don't really know how to do it, so you'll have to forgive me for that one. Yeah, you can see a couple people from the attacking team just kind of going in and getting picked off one by one. I mean, it's public play. Don't expect anything amazing. But, God, I'm really impressed by this spectator mode. I have perfect control over my camera. I can just pass through walls, do whatever I need to. This is going to be really nice if I try to do some serious business stuff here. We can see the defending team kind of at about half strength right now, going down quickly. Let's take a look at the team compositions. That's something I should have done. There's a lot more straight-up offense coming off of this, like, straight-up DPS coming off of the defending team. We have 4 assaults, which are projected AoE DPS. Not as high AoE as it was before the patch, but it's still got some splash to it. They still are one of the 2 high-damage classes, along with them and the Dreadnought. They're the frontliners. They get in the middle, kill everything, that sort of stuff. And the difference between damages is now a lot higher, as far as I can tell. I play Biotech personally. The DPS on my primary is about 600. I have a slightly upgraded primary. And I was talking to my Dreadnought friend. He says his heavy machine gun DPS is about 1200. So it's quite the difference right there. So they're the ones, get up front, deal damage. And here you have Assault, 2 Dreads, 2 Assaults, and then you have a couple Biotechs, Recons, Engineers. I'm really not a fan of offensive Recons on Sabotage at all. maybe one to counter snipe, but generally it's wasted because a lot of your combat is taking place inside. Oh, you can see this new poison cloud ability that the biotech has, the medic didn't used to get. It's incredibly powerful in sabotage. You can use it, you know, cut off an entire choke. Check this out. So they don't want to come in here right now. The offensive team has poison clouded up that entrance, they poison clouded up the outside, so if they try to walk in, they take a lot of damage, they get slowed. It's a really painful ability. You kind of have to experience it to really understand. Looks like the defending team has managed to counter-hack, though. They managed to push through the cloud, and though they have not... Oh, God. Bounced again. It seems to be when somebody respawns, it seems like it might be locking onto certain people and following my camera on them. Where am I? Here we go. Sorry about that. I'm sorry, I completely lost my train of thought. Defenders look like they're being pushed out. Once you get pushed out that door in Sabotage, it generally becomes very, very hard to take that back, and that's going to be even more so without the Healing Beam medic, who can keep you perfectly topped off, who can supercharge you. All of those wonderful abilities that let you do like a super focused push for a couple seconds are gone. A lot of the healing in general is gone, so once you start getting pushed back, you have to fall back. You can't have anyone just topping you off. I mean, you'll get the occasional, like, 25, 35 second cooldown from the biotech, but it's nowhere near as strong in terms of healing as the medic used to be. You can see here we have a little recon duel going on top. Those little, for those of you who don't know, those little graphics that are popping up, those are new graphics for when somebody tags an enemy on Sin. So you can, it's much more obvious when someone gets sinned, and that actually, in your first or third person perspective while you're playing, will appear on your screen, so you know you've been tagged, you know you can be seen on the minimap, you know they can see you through walls until that sin tag wears off. For those of you who've never played Firefall, you can tag enemies with your, it's called the Shared Information Network, SIN, and it lets you see them, like I said, through walls on your radar. It lasts 10-15 seconds, and then they have to be retagged. They can be retagged while the tag is still going. So pretty much every time you see someone, you want to spam that tag key. Satan 1 being kind of sneaky back here. But looks like it didn't really pay off for him because the rest of his team couldn't hold the room. However, it looks like they might manage to push the attackers out. I don't know what that Thunderdome from Blizzy is all about. That seems like a really crappy place to put it when you've got the hack already running. Thunderdome is a Dreadnought ability. They just drop a big shield that allies can pass through, enemies can't. They have to try to shoot their way through it, and it has a lot of damn hit points. Still, the counter hack hasn't happened yet. There's a lot of poison going out there from Wreck and Giant Giraffe, the two biotechs here on the attacking team. Those of you who played Firefall before, during when the medic was still a thing, you might remember Wreck as one of the top combat medics, and there we go. They have successfully defended Point B for the full 10 minutes. So the attacking team, when the defenders switch, they're going to need to capture Point B. If they do that, they win. Or if they capture Point A faster. And here's... Oh my. Okay, well that, Alright, there we go. There's the switch. I was a little worried that the spec interface was breaking. But no, it's good. This is really a very impressive interface. I love what they've done with it. So, about 45 seconds of dead time. If you... I see I have at least one person watching live, so I appreciate that. If you have any questions, please feel free to air them in chat. I'll do my best to answer them. Again, all of the changes are new for me, too. I played for several hours. I played around with my biotech. I had a lot of fun. But it's not... I'm by no means a master of it. I consider myself a pretty damn good medic, but biotech is just so new, and the assault changes and everything. I don't know all the engineer new abilities. Right now, I'm showing this off so you can see how cool this is, and so we can all have fun with it. We got about 5 seconds before the match starts. Looks like Wreck is going to drop a poison cloud out front, I'm going to bet. That's something that I find quite funny. Oh, maybe not. He's going to fly over, try to be sneaky. Yeah, there we go. There's the cloud. That's such an annoying thing to do, is just before the match starts, drop a cloud right outside their spawn and run away, because the biotech is really damn fast. It's great little area denial. Give your team a little advantage by taking their health down, making them fall back, buy yourselves a little time before the onslaught comes. And because opening team will usually be splitting into 2 or 3 groups. You'll damage one group and it'll want to slow them down, but the other group will keep pushing. They have no idea the Poison Cloud happened in a public game. They're not going to slow down at all. So they're just going to keep pushing and hopefully wade into your entire team with half theirs while the other team is trying to recover from the poison you just threw on them. This looks like they're getting a pretty decent push going here along the right side. That alright, well now that's actually a pretty cool vantage point I got right there. Again, I don't like recons on offense at all. Again, maybe one, but they've got a couple, and you would be much better off just having another assault. I can't really comment on the engineer right now, because I'm just not amazingly adept with that class, and they changed. I wasn't particularly good with it in the first place. I know people who were, but they were few and far between, and now it's just so different. I can't even talk about it with any sort of logic. Here we go. Looks like someone's trying to sneak around behind me. He's gonna die most likely. Yeah, there he goes. They're still trying to. They can't really break the front. They've yet to really make any progress into point A. You can see that the defenders are keeping at least as many people, and generally they have an advantage in number of people alive over the attackers, and that's always a good thing. It generally means when that's happening, if you're trading unevenly like that, either everyone on this team is going in one at a time, everyone on the attacking team, and getting picked off one by one to a team. Because even in pubs, you're going to see 5 to 6 people just camping the room all game. People have learned. We've been playing this game for a while. And then, or you'll see a couple split groups pushing in, but if they don't push at the same time, like if they're not watching their radar to see when the other group is pushing, then one group gets picked off, and then the other one is 5v10, or 5v9, or 8, or however many they manage to kill. See, look at this. You have this sniper sitting up here. I'm sorry, Handsome Bear. I'm picking on you. You're probably a perfectly competent player, able to shoot people, but I just hate your strategic decision right here. You have almost no good vision. You're not doing your team any good. You're sitting here. It's just general recon playstyle. You sit back and you go for headshots, but even if you get the occasional headshot and pick off, you're not doing your team a lot of good, when what you really need is warm bodies to get in here, soak damage, blast this room, and in these tight quarters, AoE is king. Even with the nerfed Assault, Assault and Dreadnought are so powerful because the Dread can take a lot of that AoE damage and still project a lot of constant damage, and the Assault still has powerful AoE. There's just, there's no reason to have more than one recon. There's certainly no reason to be sitting on top of that rock. Generally, the best recon sniping positions I've found are right over here, because you can get some good shots on the actual point, which is a really, really important vantage point. And if you're particularly good, you can pop in and out from behind this rock, but you kind of need to be with a team, because you can get the same kind of vantage point here, but if your team isn't right there, they can just pop out from behind the wall and kill you. That's where I've seen the particularly good recons from before this update. That's where they play, that's where they get all their kills. That Poison Cloud was kind of wasted. But looks like the attackers might manage to take a vantage point here. Rek is trying to hold them off, but he doesn't really have any backup. Engineer coming in, Durhis. And yeah, attackers have been forced out, actually. So there we go. See, that's the kind of thing you need to be doing. You can't be playing back on a recon. I don't care that he died. Mr. Weed, you're doing the right thing. You can't be sitting up there taking the occasional headshot and thinking you're being useful to your team. It just... I'm sorry. I'm really picking on this guy. I'm really overanalyzing. I just have a general distaste for people who are more interested in getting headshots than helping the team. Man, I love this spec interface. It's gorgeous.